Alright, so we got some stuff to talk about. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, there were some mass shootings that took place recently. The first one we're going to cover is the one in Jacksonville, Florida. This is from CNN. 3 people were killed Saturday in a racially motivated attack after a gunman targeted black people at a Dollar General store in Jacksonville, Florida, in one of several weekend shootings that again shocked Americans in public places, from stores to football games to parades. This shooting was racially motivated and he hated black people, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters said at a news conference. Waters said the shooter, who he described as a white man in his 20s, shot and killed himself after the attack. The suspect left behind what the sheriff described as 3 manifestos outlining his disgusting ideology of hate and its motive in the attack. All 3 victims, 2 men and 1 woman, were black. Said the shooter lived in Clay County, Florida, south of Jacksonville, with his parents. And I don't know what I really need to talk about with this. Apparently the father was told by text to check his computer by the shooter himself, and the father found documents described by Waters as manifestos and called the authorities. And I'll share a little bit more on my thoughts about this, but there's also some other stuff we're going to talk about regarding this shooting. Waters said by the time authorities were alerted about the manifestos, the gunman already started the attack. The shooting started after 1 p.m., blocks away from Edwards Waters University, a historically black school where students living on campus were told to stay in their residence halls. Waters said the gunman was seen on the school campus before heading into the Dollar General. No one was injured on campus. He took that opportunity to put his bulletproof vest on outside and to put his mask on outside, then proceed into the store where he committed this awful act. So yeah, he very much could have attacked the people at that university, and it's one of those what ifs you just really don't want to think about. Authorities have not yet officially identified the suspect, but have been in contact with his parents. The shooter was the subject of a 2017 law enforcement call under the Baker Act, which allows people to be involuntarily detained and subject to an examination for up to 72 hours during a mental health crisis. Waters did not provide details on what led to the Baker Act call. In that case, he said normally a person who has been detained under the Baker Act is not eligible to purchase firearms. A lot of people in the United States should not be able to purchase firearms, but they still do somehow. It didn't appear that the shooter knew the victims. He probably didn't know them, but he was very aware of what their skin color might be based on their location. Deegan said that the shooter's writing indicated he was aware of a mass shooting at a Jacksonville gaming event where 2 people were killed exactly 5 years earlier and may have chosen the date of his attack to coincide with the anniversary. I just don't know what to say. Again, I'm going to talk about all this later, but we'll go on to the next one, because these just don't end. This story is about a California store owner who was shot after an argument about a pride flag hanging outside her business. And just sick. Her name was Lori. She was 66. She died from a gunshot wound Friday evening at her store in Cedar Glen, about 80 miles by car east of Los Angeles. The suspected shooter is also dead following a shootout with deputies after the suspect fled from the first shooting. He tore down the flag and made many homophobic slurs towards the woman and shot her when she confronted him. The suspect posted anti-LGBTQ+ messages on social media. When deputies tried to approach him, the suspect shot at the sheriff's deputies, striking several other vehicles. The deputies returned fire and shot him, who died at the scene. A gun recovered where he died appears to be the same gun used to shoot her, according to the sheriff. Investigators are still investigating the motives of the killing. I wonder what it is. Oh, let's see. He had He had several social media accounts containing anti-LGBT plus and anti-law enforcement material. Platforms used by the suspect included Twitter, as well as Gab, a platform popular among far-right extremists. Authorities were aware of an X account belonging to a suspect contained a burning pride flag at his post. An X account appeared to belong to him, containing numerous anti-LGBTQ plus posts. Another post was critical of abortion and same-sex marriage, describing both as war against family values. I'm pretty sure Matt Walsh even commented on this. Trans activists blame me after California shop owner was shot in an altercation about a pride flag hanging at her store. Here's my response.
Yes, I'm going to start with this. A few days ago, a California shop owner named Laura Ann Carleton was shot and killed allegedly by a man named Travis Ikugichi, who was allegedly upset about a pride flag that she had hanging outside of her business. And we're told that they got into an altercation over the pride flag, at which point the assailant shot and killed the woman. That's the official story. There's a lot we still don't know about this case. Oddly, it took police a long time to release the assailant's name and information, and he's dead. He was killed by police when they tracked him down after the shooting. They say that he shot at them first. This is the story. Much of the story still, much of what happened.
I like how he immediately tries to downplay the, very anti-LGBTQ stuff. Very, very on brand for a fucking ghoul and goblin like Matt Walsh. But let's hear what else he has to say.
And frankly, when it comes to a situation like this, you can't immediately believe really anything you're told. That's just the situation that we're in now.
Because it doesn't fit my narrative.
Of propaganda and fake news. But we do know, at least, that a woman was killed, which, of course, is a very sad thing. And it's sad, at least, to those of us with souls, which, unfortunately, does not include the media and many leftist activists who could hardly contain their excitement over this tragedy.
I wonder... Yeah, does Matt Walsh have a show? Does Matt Walsh have a soul? I mean, we just saw earlier he's downplaying the anti-LGBTQ plus, hateful allegation. He said it's all alleged. It's all alleged, despite the fact that they found plenty of anti-LGBTQ plus, content on his social media accounts. But, I mean, is there anyone else on this earth who spreads, a bunch of anti-LGBTQ plus content? I can't put my finger on it. Who else does that? Matt Walsh wouldn't do that. It's not like he constantly does that.
I mean, they are happy about it. They couldn't be more thrilled, which is why they immediately turned around and used it as a political cudgel. Used the dead body of this woman.
I wonder who has the soul here. People rightfully calling out people who spread anti-LGBTQ plus, comments, shit like that. Rightfully going after the people who, really bring on this action from these weirdos, from these hateful bigots. Or if it's the dude who takes the story, barely covers it, doesn't even cover it until it affects him. I wonder who has the soul and who's, trying to use this story to their advantage. I really wonder.
As a sledgehammer to beat their ideological opponents, as they always do. And they did this shamelessly, without even the pretense of actually caring about the woman or her family. Trans activists, of course, blamed me. They blamed libs of TikTok and a few others, but mostly us. I started appearing in headlines alongside the shooter, even though I never knew the guy existed or had anything to do with him. Obviously.
That is the stupidest argument. Just taking away this entire scenario right here. That is such a dumb argument. It's I never knew the guy. Dude, do you know most of the people who watch your show? No, you don't. You don't know fucking shit about them. Do you know fucking if XQC or fucking Pokimane knows any person, knows most of the people who, watch them? No, they fucking don't. They're just random viewers. You're not just, some random dude talking to a camera in a room. You're a dude with a show that's on the internet that anyone can watch.
Obviously, supposedly this guy had retweeted me once a while ago, or something like that.
I wonder why. I wonder why a guy who shot a lady who had a pride flag in her story would retweet some Matt Walsh tweets. Also, I highly doubt it was just one. I highly doubt it. I think he's just trying to downplay it. Because if someone would say like, "Oh no, he retweeted a bunch of that," he would just be like, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, I said one." Like he did say one. I didn't say there were less or more than that. Like, this reminds me a lot of the Tim Pool guy. I forget exactly where it was, but the guy who was inspired by Tim Pool. Sorry, allegedly inspired by Tim Pool.
Was worthy of headlines. Now, I've been retweeted millions of times. Apparently, if any of those many millions of people then proceed to commit a crime, it's my fault.
When you're spreading anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric, yes.
There were many posts and articles smearing me along these lines, linking me to the shooting in truly insane and completely defamatory ways. But I want to give just one example, okay? One example. This is from...
Yeah, I don't think I really need to watch more of this. It's just him being like, poor me. Like, I don't know. Like, again, using the story to just, he barely gives any condolence to the woman or her family, and just makes it about, I'm getting attacked. He's using the whole I'm being attacked rhetoric that, like, a lot of these far-right grifters use, like Tim Pool, like Ben Shapiro, like just anyone on the right who's getting canceled. They do the same stuff where they go, I'm being attacked, and they use a tragedy to, lift up their platform. They use a tragedy to, like, piggyback on to give their victim statement, how they're the victim. And it's just completely gross.